It began with accusations. They didn't arrive in bursts of anger, but in whispers designed to corrode. A question asked too sharply, a glance sharpened into suspicion, a silence meant to punish. At first, I brushed it aside, telling myself jealousy was proof of care, that doubt was only the shadow of love. But shadows lengthen, and soon they consumed everything. She told me she had proof I was unfaithful, that my absences, my late nights, my distracted silences were evidence of betrayal. I searched myself for guilt, but found only exhaustion, the kind that comes from trying to reassure someone who refuses to be reassured. Still, I carried the burden of her certainty, because when someone repeats a lie long enough, even the accused begins to wonder if it might be true. Then came the announcement that broke whatever thread was left between us. She told me she was pregnant. The word hung heavy, reshaping the air around us. A child. Our child, she insisted. Proof that despite her jealousy, we were bound together in the most permanent way. I wanted to believe it. I wanted the promise of renewal, a chance to turn suspicion into stability. But something in her eyes betrayed the words. The joy felt rehearsed, her smile too sharp at the edges. She wielded the pregnancy like a weapon, a shield against my doubts, a chain to anchor me where she wanted me kept. For weeks I lived in dissonance. Part of me prepared for fatherhood, clinging to the possibility of purpose. Another part recoiled from the unease that grew heavier each time I touched her hand and felt nothing in return. Our connection had become performance, measured touches, forced conversations, silences thick with secrets. The cracks widened when small truths began to surface. She grew careless in her stories, timelines collapsing under scrutiny. Friends slipped details she hadn't intended to share. The more I pieced together, the more the shape of her deception revealed itself. And then the truth came, cold and absolute. The child she carried was not mine. She had been unfaithful, all while accusing me of sins I had never committed. I should have felt vindicated, but vindication never came. Only grief. Grief not only for the betrayal, but for the way she had used creation itself as a weapon. Grief for the trust I had once given freely, now poisoned beyond repair. Leaving her should have been liberation, yet it felt like haunting. The accusations echoed long after she was gone, lodged in my chest like splinters. I replayed every moment of doubt, every defensive explanation I had offered, every tear shed in frustration. It was as though she had planted something inside me. Not a child, but a seed of suspicion that now grew without her presence. Strange things began happening in the weeks that followed. I would wake in the night to the sound of crying, faint but insistent,